It's August 27th, 2016, and I thought I'd do a short video documenting the state of the garden and giving a little tour. Here we have alpine strawberries. I just got the first few berries off of this today, planted from seed in the fall. Scallions, or green onions, from the farmer's market. Basil. I have a lot of basil. The basil seeds all came up and did well when I was doing seeds, and so you'll see basil throughout. More basil than I can eat, so I'm letting many of it go to seed. This is Swiss chard. I started from seed a month or so ago. And this is mint, one of my 2 goji berries. All of this also started from seed. The goji berries were started inside. And this is some lemon thyme from a smaller plant I bought from one of the nurseries around here. And yes, we do have wasps. More basil. This one's going to seed. And is that a cabbage moth? I've been having problems with my kale and pak choi and broccoli and other cabbage-like things. It's pretty though. There's some kale. And a pepper plant. I started many pepper plants and tomato plants from seed inside, more than I can probably eat. Another kale, and stevia that I bought at Home Depot, which has been quite a pleasant surprise. The second goji berry, and another pepper plant, another kale, also started from seed. And then this is a pepper plant that I bought at Home Depot when it was smaller. It says more bell-like peppers. Looks like one of them is starting to turn red. And another basil. And here's a tomato plant. Most of the tomato plants I started from seed, although we did get some from George. And there's another tomato plant. There used to be 4 tomato plants up on that shelf over there. But they fell down a few weeks ago, and so these are still recovering. And now we have another basil. It has a little problem with its lower leaves. And strawberries, regular strawberries, or bigger ones, that I bought this plant from Home Depot. And 3 kale plants. They look like they're a little thirsty, even though I just watered them. Also from seed. And here's a tomato plant from seed. Large cherries. I did so many of those plants from seed. And there's a rosemary tucked away in there between the tomato and the asparagus. I bought the rosemary from the nursery, and the asparagus I started from seed, and this plant is like amazing. We won't get any asparagus from it for a few years from what I understand, but it's lots of fun to watch grow. I don't know if it's supposed to be hanging off like this so much, but another tomato plant. More basil. There in the middle is my pak choi from seed a few months ago. I've already gotten 1 omelet's worth out of that, and it's growing pretty well. And basil, and there's a broccoli that seems to need more support. And there's another pepper plant. And another kale. And an eggplant plant. I don't know if I'm going to get any actual fruit out of this. It does have some flowers, but I started it kind of late. Another basil, and another tomato. The tomatoes are doing pretty well. We've been picking them already for a few weeks, and they have a lot of green fruit on them. Another tomato. This one started out as a transplant accident, and I stuck it in the soil and it rerooted. Arugula from seed about a month or so ago. Spinach from seed. Well, still coming up, hopefully. Carrots. Also from seed. I planted these at the beginning of the summer. Actually in the late spring. Another tomato plant. Yes, this is the shelf that now has 2 plants. It used to have 4 plants, and those plants fell down too, so they're just beginning to get fruit again. Another broccoli plant, and you can see the problems I've been having here with predators. All the leaves have holes. Well, the new leaves are not so bad. And this behind is the cucumber. Cucumber was incredibly successful, or is incredibly successful. I've gotten a bunch of cucumbers off of it, and there's some more in there. They're hard to see. They hide behind the leaves very effectively. Another basil, 2 basils, another broccoli. They also had those broccolis had a hard start. See if I can catch there's a cucumber. Hard to see. I'm going to harvest that one today, and they built a big trellis, and they just climbed right out of it, and you'll see on the other side, they're coming over the other side. And then another basil, another pepper, and back there were some beans, some peas, snap peas. They were not so successful. Another pepper, and then another tomato, another basil, and this is lemongrass that I also bought from Home Depot. I'm still trying to figure out how to use it. All the recipes I have found are just mostly other things. Roses that I transplanted before all the rest of this happened. And another tomato. Then there are a few more pots on this side. And a whole bunch of cucumbers. Look at that cucumber plant. There's actually 3 cucumber plants. One I started from seed, and then I bought what I thought was one very bushy plant from Home Depot. It turned out to be 2 plants, and I did successfully separate it. And now it's like they're growing well beyond the trellis, into the tree. I think I'm going to have to try to train it back around. Although it doesn't get a lot of light here. But we have 1 cucumber here too, getting pretty big. And this is coming down, and then I just created this after the plants fell off of it. I created another space for this cucumber to expand to. You can see there are a few little cucumbers coming in here. And here's an upper view of the 2 tomato plants that fell. And I'm just starting to fruit again. And then this is another tomato plant. I was successful to grow a few things back here, despite the crazy shade that prevented more things from growing. That's it. That is the current state of the garden. Some green cherry tomatoes.